Hello, honorable members of the clan. So let's go to the Gauteng High Court, where we are going around and round and round in circles with Brigadier Gininda. I get it. He's rebutting everything that Mr. Mgome Zulu had tabled about accused number one never being in Gauteng between 2013 and 2015 because he was living in KwaZulu-Natal due to unemployment. And now Gininda is understanding, saying, impossible. And so they started looking at his activities between those 3 years that was purported of him not ever being in Gauteng but was living in KwaZulu-Natal. So one of the things that I've mentioned in my previous video regarding an address that he had given, of course, because sometimes even when you don't live in that address, you are going to say, oh, that's my former address, when actually your cousins or somebody related to you or somebody that you know that you were using their address, you would say you were living there when in fact you were not. Like I said, I'm a Zulu person. I come from KwaZulu-Natal and I've had cousins and all kinds of relatives coming to Johannesburg looking for jobs, and they always wanted our address so that they can put on their CVs as well as when they open bank accounts, but never ever lived with us. However, though, they do say, oh, that's my former address, and all that sort of stuff. So now they were looking into his learners. The learners, I think he failed 3 times or 4 times, I can't remember. So basically they were dealing with Natis, a record that in 2014, because they are saying, or the defense is saying that Moses Sibiya was not in Johannesburg or in Gauteng between 2013 and 2015. However, in between those years, he was doing his learners in Johannesburg. He was doing bookings as well as writing the learners examination in Brakpan, around that East Rand area where he was doing his learners. But then I thought about it as well, like let's be a little bit honest here. And I understand that the court has to act as though that's how the law ought to be executed. But you and I know that the Department of Transport, recent reports and arrests that are taking place by the Hawks are showing and also exposing the rot in Natus as well as all the traffic departments, or at least some traffic departments where you have to pay a price. You don't necessarily have to be in the class. All you have to do is just send money. Somebody will write that examination for you. Somebody will write that examination for you. But the record says in order for you to make a booking, you need to be there physically. So it's impossible that in 2014, Moses Sibiya was doing appointments and writing while he lived in KwaZulu-Natal. He had to come up to Brakpan and write that learner's examination, including his drivers, etc., and so on. Basically, once again, it's just rebutting that he was never in Gauteng between 2013 and 2015. But with the revelations that are going on, I kind of see how he would say he was in KwaZulu-Natal while somebody else had written his learners as well, gotten him his driver's license. I'm not saying that is what happened. I'm just thinking this is South Africa. And in 2014, the rot of the country, it was at its peak. At its peak. And that also includes where we used to get reports of police officers that have turned into moonlighting as inkabi, using state resources to delete people because they will be hired around that time. We heard about that word starts with a P. Go. I don't know how to put it so YouTube doesn't flag it. YouTube doesn't like that word as well. Let me put it in Zulu. Ezopolotic. The deleting of those people. Seriously, so many things were coming out, even though we might not have full evidence of these, but at least we are getting an idea like, oh man, the rot in the country started a long time ago. So I'm not convinced thoroughly the possibilities indeed that Moses Sibiya was traveling between Johannesburg or Brakpan or the East Rand in particular. He was traveling between the East Rand and KwaZulu-Natal, Nongoma, Lundi, etc. and so on. Now they also dealt with his banking transactions with the two cards that he had. And these two cards were showing transactions that were taking place in 2014 as well as in 2013 and in 2015, but they were focusing more on in 2014 because you must remember the incident happened when in October of 2014. And I think the last transaction for Mr. Sibiya was around July of 2014. So that will be what? August, September, 3 months before the incident happened. So that is where the transactions are. So basically what they're trying to say is they're discrediting Mr. Sibiya's truth-telling, that he says he was never in Johannesburg between 2013 and 2015. And yet his banking records are showing that he was pretty much in Johannesburg just as much as he was in KwaZulu-Natal. And then Judge Rata wanted to know the differences between Nongoma, Ulundi, and Mahlabatini. And I was like, yeah, Ulundi and Nongoma, a bit of a distance from each other, even more of a distance between Ulundi as well as Mahlabatini. So yeah, but they're all up there in the northern KwaZulu-Natal, and Gininda is correct. Ulundi used to be the former capital city for KwaZulu-Natal, the homeland KwaZulu-Natal, because that's where also you will find the Zulu king Isilo Samabandla Bayete. That's where you will find him, as well as I think this is also the stronghold of the Inkatha Freedom Party back then, I suppose. But anyways, the whole point here is Gininda is just rebutting and saying, no, it's impossible that you have these transactions and yet he is living in KwaZulu-Natal. Then I thought about it. I'm like, listen. Again, as Zulu people, yeah, I think to this day it does happen where, let's say, somebody in the family is struggling. Maybe, let's say, they never gotten a birth certificate because they were born at home. And you know, in South Africa, when you are not going to have your birth registered with Home Affairs, your life practically is non-existent. But I feel like the Home Affairs is neglecting this part of our lives as South Africans, that there are a lot of South Africans born in the rural areas, like Nongoma, Ulundi, Mahlabatin, are pretty rural. Okay, now these days they're a little bit on the nice side. But back then, if you think about it, there are a lot of South Africans that are born with being born at home, never been to the hospital, let alone got immunization. So the point I'm trying to make here, if I have a cousin, I don't know, a relative who was born at home and does not have ID to open a bank account, sometimes some family members will say, okay, fine, I'll open a bank account for you under my name, but you give them that, the banking card. In my family, fortunately, we don't have such a situation, but I've seen before situations like this when I was growing up, where somebody will open a bank account for somebody else, and that somebody else, of course, they got a job now in Gauteng. In most cases, will be either a makishini, if he's not a makishin, domestic worker, or in the mines, if it's not the mines, cleaning the streets for municipality. And so the money is able to go into that bank account. So chances are Musa Sibiya may have had something similar to that, and that's the person that was in Gauteng and doing these transactions. Again, I'm not making any excuses for him. I'm just giving you a reality that seemingly sometimes we forget about. It's reality. To this very day, that reality still exists. Sometimes the parents of this individual passed on way before their birth certificates were made with Home Affairs. The grandparents could not be the one that goes and get this child a birth certificate. As a result, they fall through the cracks. It's a reality. It happens all the time. So who knows? Maybe there was a situation exactly like this one. Like I said, at this point, I feel like the Ginindas and them, they were quite smart. They did a very thorough job in looking for things like this. Like pin something, like, because I think they know this is the real South Africa that many South Africans have forgotten about, but they went backwards in order to solidify this accusation against the 5 men that stand accused of deleting Senzo Mewa. And this is another part that is making me go, this is interesting. Over the weekend, we've been watching the commemoration of Senzo Mewa's 10th anniversary since he was taken away from his family. And the interesting part is, his family don't believe that the 5 people that stand accused of deleting their loved one, they are the right people. They are very clear about who is the people that know what happened. But yes, Gininda adamantly, as if he did not watch the news during the weekend, because I know he did. Well, I know that I know. But, I mean, wouldn't you be curious as an investigating officer to hear what people are saying, especially on a big day like this one? And then you come across Senzo Mewa's mother crying her lungs out for justice. And then you come on Monday like the heartless human being and continue on this charade called this trial. I find that staggering. I find it so staggering, not only on Gininda's part, but also on Baloy's side, because there's no way that Baloy did not become curious over the weekend and said, okay, let's check what is going on in the media. And then sees and heard Senzo's mother making a plea to Kelly Khumalo's mother, Ma Khumalo, begging her, please, like a mother who felt the same pain that I did when I was birthing my child. Please stop causing me pain. Instead, the daughter comes and spits right on the face of Senzo's mother by trying to divert attention away from her family and the people that were in the house with her. We are dealing with a different caliber of people here, I am telling you. And then confidently this morning, Gininda takes the stand and continues to lie about the 5 men. It doesn't make sense. It just does not make sense. The victim's mother is not happy with this trial. The lies that are being told, they are aware of them. But no, let's adamantly stiffen our necks and continue with this. But what must remain, these innocent people of this matter, they must be convicted. That's where we're at. Because when you listen to Gininda going around and round and round in circles, even himself, he even sighs as he's reading all those records, because he knows these are lies. These are lies, guys. These are lies. It's interesting. It's quite interesting what we are witnessing. And I've always said we are witnessing miscarriage of justice right before our eyes. And that's exactly what's going on in the North Gauteng High Court in this matter. When are they going to cut this bull and then let us free from our misery, especially the Mewas? So that is where we're at. Gininda doing all that he can to rebut what the defense has submitted in respect of Mmusi Sibiya not being in Gauteng between 2013 to 2015. And they're saying, no, the bank activities as well as him writing learners and driver's license, well, they're saying a different story. But doesn't matter when the victim's family say, no, he isn't. He isn't one of the people that deleted her son. And the question Senzo's mother asks, especially of Mapiri, why did you clean the crime scene for intruders? How does that make sense? When Gininda hears that question as an investigating officer, what runs across his mind? Because it should light up a bulb, an aha moment, like, yeah, how? Listen, Senzo's mom, you are right. Let me redirect my investigations and go back to Mapiri and ask her this question. If indeed there were intruders in the house, why did you clean? But he's not interested in that. He's far gone in this lie. But anyways, guys, that's what was happening after the long adjournment. The charade continues. And what's his name? Baloy is going to start on a different aspect on the net bank record. Oh my gosh. Tomorrow, we are going to go through the net bank records once again to dispute or rebut that Musa Sibia was never in Johannesburg between 2013 and 2015. Other than that, guys, please do not leave this video without liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you guys so much for your support. You have absolutely no idea, and I pray y'all are always in my prayers every single day. Trust me when I tell you that. When all good things are happening to you, just know that Cleanses' prayer is working. Because I pray it. Oh, and let me not put it that way because I'll sound as if I'm better. No. I apologize. I withdraw that. But just know that you are in my prayer. And blessings and upon blessings to each and every one of you. And those of you as well who haven't given up in super thanking the channel and supporting it financially, I highly appreciate you too. Abundance of blessings to you also. Guys, let's see each other in my next video. Don't forget to click the bell notification if you like us so that you get more information about what's happening in that courtroom. You rub your two IQs together and then spark your own opinion. Yes, opinion, because that's what we do here. See you next time. Goodbye.